Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Fate. Hello Ataraxia. We got a night event with Rin, it seems, because we said we're gonna chill here for the night. What's going on with Rin? In her room at night. Now then, speaking of things to ask Tosaka about, Na already went to the bath. Go have a look. What if... Sure. Why not? Get these out of the way, because, well, we've unlocked them. I've got spare time on my hands, so I'm using to breeze through some preparations for breakfast tomorrow. Oh god, is this going to be with her in the bath? That's going to be a first for us, because we had kind of everyone else, you know? Oh, looks like Tosaka's calling me. Okay. They continue on like that as I head into the hallway. Since I'll be last, should I turn down the gas before my turn? I'll get dizzy from the accumulated steam after the girls have gone if I don't. Well, putting that aside for now... Has she already gone to her room? Normally you'd stay put after calling someone out. Oh well. My man, my G. If I suddenly brought her a can of beer, she'd probably just hit me while going on about trying to make her fat or something. She's the opposite to Fujine, who always needs a drink after. That's really sad, but also really understandable as a teacher. Isn't it the tradition to have just a nice like chug of milk? Like to just like you know how like younglings taunt and Smash to just smash back a can of milk? While mumbling these things to myself, I head towards Tosaka's room. Okay, so she's not changing. Tosaka's voice sounds unusually cheerful. And yet, perhaps there's some kind of law of equivalent exchange that makes me become anxious whenever I hear Tosaka seems to be in high spirits. That or she's plastered. She gonna be shooting up when we see her? Yeah, I know, that's only after the bath salts, right? I wonder if I'm overthinking this. But then again, Tosaka smells so nice fresh out of the bath. Which is the two of us in the room at night. Of course I'll be nervous. She's like, you have to stop smelling my hair. Oh? Tosaka's words were highly suggestive. I'm a nervous wreck, having no idea what she's thinking or intends to... Oh. You feel nothing from this? And just like that, my sweet expectations were blown away with one swift strike. As though Tosaka had struck it like a ball at the batting cages, sending it flying beautifully into the net. I mean, we have that Tosaka baseball sprite. It's like one of them. I like how Sakura's also one who could crush the collarbone. I completely understand, but it's still really depressing. Tosaka's shoulders seem to be bothering her after her bath, and there isn't anyone else suitable to ask. Well, it's not like there aren't some servants that might be good at something like this, but taking a step back... What a totally average slice of life thing to talk about. I've heard people talk about that, but I wonder how true it is. That's in a domain men can only imagine, but someone like Sakura might know the truth of the matter. And we live for another day. I narrowly avoided stepping in it big time. Because of that, I have no chance of getting out of this massage.
エミヤ君って得意そうよね、こういうの。
自慢じゃないけど、藤音相手に仕込まれてきたからな。ちょっと
藤村先生なら四郎にさせてそうよね。羨ましい。
そうか？
そうじゃない。そういうことを気軽に頼める相手がいるっていうのはいいものよ。
なのかな。藤音に肩を揉まれたことは、いや、なくもなかったが。
I don't really trust her to be very, gentle with her hands. Fujine was like, come on, Shiro, you're also really stiff, aren't you? And she just started...
そう言われてなぜか生体の実験になり、最終的にはサブミッションの新技開発大会に。
Yeah, not very relaxing.
訂正。あんまり羨ましくないわね、それは。
I have a feeling that I've just exposed the true idiotic relationship between me and Fujine to Tosaka again. I think to myself, how? How could Fujine, despite being a bit older than me, seriously turn that into wrestling practice?
関節技や整体の真似事はいいから、普通に肩もみでお願いするわ。
おだちんくれとは言わないから安心して揉まれてくれ。じゃあ、登坂。
I stand behind Tosaka and reach out for his shoulders. As I get close to this... What? What did I say?
シロ、何かおかしいことがあるの？
He's like... Nothing.
なんでもない。ちょっと緊張してるだけだ。初めてだからな。
That isn't the real reason I'm nervous. The thought of Tosaka with her slender neck and shoulders unconsciously making girlish moans. Calm down. It's just a shoulder rub, a massage. There's no further meaning to it.
変なところ触ったら殺すからね。
She would.
そこがガチガチに凝っててもか？
バカ。
Oh, Baka. Just sad little Baka. Saying that actually calmed me down. Gripping her shoulders, I use my fingertips to search for stiffness in her muscles, huh?
お客さん凝ってますね。
わかる？やっぱりほら、私ってできる女だから。
いろいろ苦労してるんでしょうね。
出来の悪い弟子のことを心配したりとかね。
So basically, it's my fault. Meaning giving this massage is like a way to make up for my incompetence?
冗談よ。本当にシロのことで肩が凝ったら、今頃うっ血死してるわよ。
手ひどいな、それは。じゃあ、少しはまともになれば、こんなに肩こりはしないのか？
She moans as my hands move. As I massage below her collarbone, Tosaka lets out a light sound of pleasure.
さて、どうでしょう。はあ、でもいいわね。肩揉んでもらうのって。あんまり揉んでもらったことないから、私。
So like I literally have, as part of my healthcare, shoutouts to Canada, I get like $200 of free massages a year, and I'm like terrified to go for them. Just something about, you know, someone digging into me. I don't know. It's I don't know if I could do it. I also don't know if it would feel too good. I'm very not good with people touching me. I don't know.
だよな。
Tosaka's been living alone for a long time. There's not really anyone at school she could ask. Probably not even Mitsuzuri.
なかなか安心して他人に背中を預けられなくてね。
I'd be fine with one of those where they like walk on your back because it's not their hands, you know? It's the hand part that kind of freaks me out. I realize that sounds incriminating. That does.
疑心暗鬼が基本姿勢の因果な家業じゃない？私たちって。肩揉んでもらうなんて危なっかしくて。
おまけに、遠坂の学校の猫かぶりもあるだろ？
God, imagine if Issei had a hidden camera in here.
ちょっと肩揉んでくださらないかしらなんて他の人には言えないよな。
今でも私のことをそう見てるんだ、エミヤ君。
いや、俺はともかく首をゴキゴキやってたら下級生が幻滅して悲しむからやめといた方がいい。
I apply more pressure upwards from the nape of her neck. It really is stiff. Enough to make me consider buying bathing products to help deal with stiff shoulders from now on.
上出来上これだけでもちょっとシローがいてくれてありがたいなって思ってるのよ。
よし、それなら今晩は徹底的に遠坂を揉み倒す。
シロー、そんなにしたら。
Saying that, I immersed myself into Tosaka's massage. Her voice was faintly sensual. I guess this isn't so bad.
そこ。極楽極楽。
I am waiting for someone to be in the hallway listening and freaking out.
だがこの程度準備運動にも及ばぬと知れ。本番はここからだぞ、遠坂。
まだするの
Right? Listen to this out of context. Her shrieks filled with pleasure, read relaxation, reverberate throughout the room. Like this, the shoulder massage goes on late into the night. However, my hands have become sore. Is there good? No one is actually. Wow, they didn't do what I expected. So we got stuff at the Emmy residence or the ghost house. So let's start here. What's up in the storage room? It's my man, Shed-chan. I loiter in the storehouse, surrounded by all the items I've picked up. It's nice and cool, and the scent of oil and rusted metal fills the air. Calms me down.
そうだ、ビデオ。あれもそろそろ課題としては。
Yo, you could watch some like old anime on it. Well, man. VCRs, CRTs, that's the good stuff. Suddenly, as I'm rummaging around... Ooh, what's that? I hear a loud scream in the distance. The scream came from the other building. It doesn't sound like Sakura. Then is it Fujine's Saber Rider? Or maybe, well, it's probably okay.
さて。やっぱりどう見ても無理な感じがするな。
Gonna ignore it, huh? Taking off the cover, I brush off the dust. My man doesn't even care. Even with a service manual, this is far beyond my abilities. Furthermore, with appliances getting more and more modularized, it's getting difficult for amateurs to even get inside
と
them.
りあえず、よくローダーが壊れてそのままぽいって言うけどな。
Spreading out my tools, I line them up on the sheet next to me. It looks like I'm in for the long haul. Alright then, let's take another look inside. And... I feel a storm brewing. Feels like the pressure's dropping, clouds are forming, and the wind's picking up. Rapid footsteps stomp firmly on the ground. Hello? That was you? They're heading straight to the storehouse. My eyes tell me it's Tosaka, but in reality it's a living typhoon of magical energy.
よ、遠坂。
Hi, what's up? I raised my hand to greet her. Oh, you are pissed. I feel greatly endangered, as if seeing my parents is mortal enemy. What the heck happened? At this rate, next she'll fire a gander, and that would be the start of the Emir residence storehouse murder case.
トイレあるじゃないの。
Oh my god.
どっちだ？母屋の方か？
離れの方よ。
Needless to say, this house is huge. The outer building and the main building both have a restroom.
水が出てきた。
What?
漏水か？まずいな。
There will be lots of damage if I leave plumbing problems unfixed. Let's go repair it. I have some gaskets here, so...
違う。
Oh no.
故障じゃないのか？
Oh my god. Wow, the way Tosaka's talking in monosyllables is disquieting. It's looking like a dam on the brink of... Oh my god.
だからあれ何なのよ、シロ。
あれ？もしかして。
Come to think of it, the Western-style bathroom in the outer building is one that I took some effort... No, she got bidet! And while Tosaka was gone, there have been several new state-of-the-art home electronic applications introduced into our household. She got bidet. Alright, so straight up. My family actually imported a Toto bidet from Japan because they are the best. And we always say when people come over, you have to try it. And yeah, every time you press that button, you hear them go "Aye!" as it shoots up their pooper. And let me tell you, and this might be too much information, but like honestly, cranking that bad boy up to maximum and getting a deep clean is wonderful.
もしかしてウォッシュレットのことか。
A washlet, that's what they call it. Oh, she's mad.
私に黙っていたのよ。
Ah, the dam finally broke. See, I thought she had to go to the bathroom, and when she said the water leaked, I thought she meant that she leaked, so... Okay, this is better. I'm standing here dumbfounded as a muddy stream of water surges toward me.
そういうものを入れたのなら真っ先に私に説明しなさい。芳香剤の類じゃないんだから。
Yeah, but you use the water one, and then you use the air blower. It's wonderful.
忘れてた。それに俺あっち使わないから。
ならばなおさらに。もう心臓止まりそうにびっくりしたわよ。
Looks like the water went for her defenseless anus. So that's where the scream came from.
そうだよな。俺も最初に使ってみた時はなんか歯医者さんを想像したし、いや行ったことないけど、歯を食いしばったというか。
It's really nice though. I don't know how people don't like it.
しかしだな、遠坂。あれはあれで慣れてみると、なるほど。文明の利器というものは素晴らしいと。
It's amazing. Amazing. I'm surprised, Soccer also said. It really was a surprise. Anyone who experienced it can't help but tell the tale.
誰もシロのインプレッションを聞かせろとは言ってないわよ。問題は。
遠坂、あれは初体験だったのか？
当然でしょう。あんなの考えたこともなかったわよ。ありえないわ。一体どこのどんな人種があんな紙一重なこと考えたっていうのよ。
Japan.
侮れないわね、今の騎士も。あの発想力、そして実行力。神か悪魔か、あるいは。
She's getting carried away with that comparison. Tosaka seems completely astonished. Still, her residence doesn't look like it'd have a bidet, and with Tosaka being so helpless with any kind of appliance, I'm rather worried about the mess she could have made.
ちなみに、最初にどのボタンを押した？
何恥ずかしいことをしれっと聞いてるのよ。それも笑いながら。
I mean, ours has regular, it also has feminine mode, and it has air blow dryer.
私が言いたいのは、そういうものを秘密にして人を笑い物にしようって態度が気に入らないと。
No, I honestly regret it, ma'am. I definitely didn't mean it that way, but in the end, yeah, that's kind of how it ended up coming out.
とにかくあれは便利なものだから満喫するといい。和式の母屋には残念ながら使えなくてな。
誰がお手洗いで心ゆくまで満喫するのよ。
Well, it's not for that.
あれ、離れのお手洗いだけ？
I nod. I've seen a Japanese-style bidet on the TV, but unfortunately they stopped manufacturing those due to a variety of reasons, which is wild because now the Toto bidets are everywhere in Japan. Basically, you almost never find a non-bidet toilet in Japan.
そうなると他に誰が使ったの？
さくらとライダー。ライダーは驚かなくて面白くなかった。
Were you waiting to listen?
藤根はもう前に使ったことがあったって。
そっか。
I can tell she's plotting something devious right now. And so the victim will definitely be the only girl who hasn't used it yet. Tragedy invites further tragedy. I have to break this chain of sorrow.
セイバーか。
Oh no.
いいわね。楽しめそう。
I was thinking it'd be Ilya, but no.
やっぱり。遠坂待て、早まるな。
私は何も。だってエミヤくんだってこんなにお楽しみだったのに、私もご商売に預かれないなんてちょっと悔しいかなって。それに私はセイバーにあのボタンを押してみなさいと教えてあげるだけだしね。
In the end, it's a path smeared with blood. Tosaka skips away before I had a chance to stop her. I went back to tinkering with the VCR when a few minutes later... Now that's not something you hear every day. Saber screamed. Sensing the approach of another storm, I have no choice but to brace myself for the coming typhoon. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh, it's so good. What are you doing in my living room? Wow, there's so many. You can go to your house? What's up at the temple? Ah! I see. What's up at your house, Tosaka? We'll hang with you today for a bit. I'm heading to Tosaka's house. After coming back from abroad, she said, come over to my house if you have some free time. it'd be a good idea to make an appearance. So I walk into her house and...
何やってるんだ？
ああ、シロ。見てわからない？
just like loads of capsules on the table and like several bottles of alcohol. Kind of looks like she's cooking. Oh, she is cooking. Cooking that crystal. Very antique looking cauldron is on the desk. Though because of the eerie form and how old it looks, it seems odd to use it for cooking. There's also a mountain of ingredients piled up. An unusual bunch of wild... Hey, you know, some of that wild grasses, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? Oh, yeah.
父さんがそれ食うのか？
おかしなこと聞くわね。薬草じゃない、これ全部。
Hey, all these herbs are medicinal. Hey. Medicinal herbs, and I guess they're edible? They could be applied directly to a wound. I've been treated by one of her secret ointments before, but is this how she makes it? You know, one of them, you go down to the store and you get some of that ointment, you know, some of that CBD, some of that THC ointment.
ああ、そうね。何作るか言ってなかったわね。これ、煎じ薬にするの。
効能は需要競争とか美容回春とか？
作れたら副業にできるかもね。実際この家業で表の職業が薬屋って多いわよ。
Oh. When it wasn't possible back in the old days to distinguish between a magus, doctor, and faith healer, do they all just operate kind of under the same drugstore label? Still, for Tosaka to talk about a side business, she must be in quite a tight spot.
エミヤくん、何よその笑いは。
なんでもない。で、何に使うんだ？
エミヤくんには不要なものだろうけど、不肖の弟子にもしっかり教えてあげましょう。
With a nod, I listen to Tosaka.
魔術刻印を抑制するための薬よ。
Huh.
なるほど。それは俺にはいらないな。
No, we don't got one of those. Magic crest. I don't have one, but Tosaka is the type that's passed down from one generation to the next. An immobilized mystery that contains the Magus' achievements as well as their tenacity. That is the complex engraving placed on her left arm.
魔術刻印は成長すればなれるけど、結局他人の体だからね。やっぱり薬を飲まないと抑え込むのは辛いし。
Huh, that sounds like that sucks.
免疫抑制剤みたいなものか。
500年も600年も続いて血統操作しているような魔術師の一族ならともかくね。うちは族外の血は入るし、たかだか200年足らずの極東の家柄だから、こういうものに頼らないといけないの。
At best, 200 years. Just thinking about it makes me dizzy. The length of time from when I told Kiritsuga that I admired and wanted to be a magus until now seems like nothing more than a brief sigh in comparison.
こういうのを使えるっていうのも、遠坂が立派な魔術師の証拠じゃないのか？
かもしれないわね。じゃあ、シロ、これお願い。
Tosaka forces an old book into my hands while laughing. It looks about as ancient as the pot. Who's this? Tosaka Tokinaga?
付箋の貼ってあるところに作り方が書いてあるから、あとはよろしく。
待て遠坂、これはなんだ？
先祖代々の調合表よ。弟子のあなただから見せてあげる重要な我が家の。
いいのか？俺が作っても。
I asked Tosaka, unable to conceal my anxiety. I mean, is this a good idea? It's like administering an amateur-made immunosuppressant to a heart transplant patient. There's a limit to how reckless you can be. Moreover, it's Tosaka who will be taking it.
書いてある通りに作れば大丈夫。私だって小学生の頃に泣く泣く仕込まれたんだし。
Wow, yeah, that explains a lot.
だから大丈夫だと。
これも修行の一環よ、エミヤくん。つべこべ言わずにやりなさい。出来は私が見てあげるから。
Shikatana if she puts it like that. She said she learned this while still in elementary school, and I can't afford to lose
分
now.
かった。じゃあ挑戦してみる。うわ、筆書きだ。それも草書。
Oh god. God, I can't read cursive. I unintentionally groaned just looking at the book, which had yellowed with age. Was this ancestor of Tosaka's from that kind of era? I guess this old style of writing can't be helped if our family used this research journal for generations.
そうね。 私の代で一度編集し直さないと。いい加減保存の限界よね。
Just bring it to a print shop and have them scan it. Oh, well, no, this is Tosaka we're talking about. She has no idea what a USB stick is.
でだな、トサカ。このページで間違ってないよな。
I show her the page with the tag on it. What are we going to do if Tosaka's famous carelessness struck again and this is completely the wrong page? Tosaka hastily looks where I'm pointing.
それなんだ、また間違ったかと思ったじゃない。
またって。
I might face her wrath if I say more. Alright, before Tosaka's good mood sours, let's get cooking. I mean, mixing. We're literally making drugs. This is actually what we're doing. Is she really going to drink this? I peer into the boiling witch's kettle before me. No, I can't even look. Just the smell is making my lunch come up. This is the dankest. Cautiously, I stretch out one arm and stir with a wooden spoon. I was wrong to think a normal pot would be better. Furthermore, boiling this in the kitchen would have been even worse. No way in hell would I want to cook with a pot or a kitchen that I had used to make this stuff even once. I'd better sample it just to be safe. Tosaka's gonna drink it after all. It must be a dreadful task for the Magus that has to take this.
そういえば、藤姉に青汁飲まされたよな。それに比べればまあ。
At least you know that's meant to be drank. I gamble on fooling my senses by pinching my nose. Gathering my resolve, I have a taste. See, compared to a full glass of vegetable juice or a large serving of Taizen's Mapu tofu, this isn't so... My tongue, or rather my whole mouth, has been polluted. Is polluted an exaggeration? No. I can only think of this as an assault against my sense of taste. No, not only my senses, but against those of all mankind.
まず。
ああ、それ、まずさは折り紙付きだから。お薬って美味しかったら効かなそうだし。
It's not true. Banana flavored stuff always is good and works.
糖以上は邪道って思わない？エミヤくん？
美味しく飲めるならそれ正義。つか父さん。
Justice.
嫌がらせだろうこの味は。
おかしいな。そこまでひどくはないはずだけど、もしかして失敗してる？
Nonchalantly, Tosaka looks at the toxic stew in the pot.
なんだ。上出来上出
Oh
来。
god, you drink this all the time?
上出なんだ。なあ、本当にそれ飲むのか？
My hope that she would deny that as a lie lasted only a mere moment.
当たり前じゃない。コップ一杯ゴクッと。どうしたの？エミヤくんったら端っこでブルブル震えて、まるでエイリアンに襲われた研究員みたいに。
That's because I became the first pitiful victim. For someone who cooks, having a whole glass of that palate destroyer liquid is the same as death. Still, for a Magus whose path is intertwined with death, having a glass or two of that unpalatable medicine might not be such a big deal. With that, I realized the difference in growth between Tosaka and myself.
だよな。俺が間違ってた。
As long as there's no risk of death or disability, I'll gladly drink even this for my sake of my Magus training.
ならいいけど、変なエミヤくん。
Watch it end up tasting like better than normal. And she's like, what did you do? This is delicious.
じゃあ、あとは弱火で煮込み続けるだけね。はい、ちょっと付き合いなさい。
まだ何かあるのか？
まだ時間があるからね。あなたの魔術の進展を見せてもらおうかと思って。
Tosaka is the teacher after all, so of course she's thinking about her student. But I only recently recalled my magic?
どうしたの？途方に暮れた顔をして。もしかして。
Tosaka looks at my face quizzically. I hurriedly hide the anxiety that washed over me.
もしかして、私のいない間にサボりにサボり回ってたとか？
そんなことないぞ。いや、俺は俺なりに努力を。
へえ、そういうからには見せてもらいましょうか。さあ、覚悟して私の部屋に上がりなさい。
Can't be helped if it's come to this. Time to get serious. There's no choice but to show her some improvement in my magic. Shikatanai has been said 3 times in this exact scene. The challenge is quite simple. I was handed a plastic knife used for opening letters, and now I have to reinforce it. Tosaka's words were, since it's the ideal teaching material for you. I invoke reinforcement while Tosaka looks on. The same words as always: invoke the illusion, integrate, trace on. Magic circuit is forced awake by the flowing magical energy. I study the structure and analyze the material of the plastic knife in my hand. Pushing magical energy through its form and existence, I reinforce it. A process I've repeated many, no dozens, even hundreds of times. I erase all idle thoughts. With a single purpose, I pour my will/blood into the magic circuit.
できた。
Whew! Having avoided embarrassment in front of Tosaka, I wipe the sweat streaming down my forehead.
よっと。
I throw it at the dartboard in the corner of the room. Even if it's thrown and flies like a real one, there's no way a plastic knife would stick. But now it's as hard as steel, so it should easily sink into the... My man just threw a plastic knife at the wall. It looks like Tosaka can't stand to watch anymore. The knife bounced off the dartboard and fell. No, that should have worked. Could the reinforcement have been too weak? Tosaka picks up the knife, examines it, then puts it away.
前より下手になってないエミヤくん。
Jeez.
そうさか。失敗したら今まではペーパーナイフを壊してただろ。それに比べればだいぶ。
失敗の仕方の進展なんかどうでもいいのよ。でもどこかおかしいわね。
She looks me over suspiciously from top to bottom. Maybe she noticed something? Though all I got from her was a sigh.
わかったわ。やっぱりシロは1日2日鍛え直す必要がありそうね。
I don't like the word drilling. That has implications.
面目ない。
早く面目も体面も立つ一人前の魔術師になろうとしなさい。これじゃあ向こうに連れて行ってもシロだけじゃなく私まで恥をかきかねないわね。
A day of studying magic under Tosaka, huh? My weekends are open, but for her to take the time to do this for me is something I really owe her for. Feeling indebted, I bow my head to Tosaka.
まったくどこからやればいい
Oh
の
my
か
god,
し
is she
ら。
gonna make me drink it?
そうだ、とっておきのあの薬で。
もしかしてあの煎じ薬よりすごい味なのか。
あら、エミヤくんが使ってもいいっていうのならいろいろコレクションがあるけど。
Oh no. Please tell me that was a joke. Well, if this will speed up my progress, then the pain is a small price to pay.
またそういう顔してる、シロ。
わかった。遠坂の家に来ればいいんだよな。
さ、みっちり仕込んであげるから覚悟しなさい。
Now then, it's a promise, though I can't say for sure whether this is good luck or bad. Well, we got no word from her drinking it, so I guess it did turn out fairly okay. So we can hang around the residence still. And we have another thing with Tosaka. We're just hanging out with her all day today. Let's go have a look, I wonder.
あら、エミヤくん。おやすみなさい。
What does that mean?
おやすみ遠坂。夜更かしすんなよ。って待て。それはなんだ、それは。
What? I call out to Tosaku, who's trying to slip by me. I wouldn't normally mind if she ignores me, but something here worries me.
何よ、エミヤくん。私、何かおかしなところがあるの？
遠坂本人ではなく、武装が怪しい。
What is she holding?
そこ。後ろに何を隠している？
別にエミヤくんには関係ないと思うけど。はい、見る？
She displays it openly. There can be no mistake. There is a bottle of liquor and a glass in her hands.
それ、飲むのか？
飲む以外何に使うのよ。ナイトキャップ代わりってやつよ。
まあ、なるほど。一杯引っ掛けると眠くなるって聞くもんな。確かに。
I thought alcohol keeps you up because it's a stimulant. Well, good night then. Somehow doesn't seem like an appropriate way to dismiss this.
気のせいかしら。エミヤくん、ひどい顔してるけど。
気のせいじゃない。お前のせいだ。寝る前にちょっと一杯ってなんだよ。それ、まさかアルコール？
ずいぶん大げさね。エミヤくんは飲まないの？どうしても寝つけない時とか。
What are we saying? Of course she would. This is Rin. She's drug lord. Of course she'd knock one back before she goes to sleep.
そういう時は布団をかぶってじっとしてるし、寝づらいことは少ない。
そうよね。エミヤくんって年中ドライでも平気って感じだし。
Thanks ever so much for the admiring words, Tosaka. I can tell she's pouting. Does Tosaka really think I'm that unusual?
お酒じゃないわよ。安心して。ただぐっすり眠りたい時にね、自分を騙すためにたし飲んでいるの。
そうか。一応信じるが、飲みすぎるなよ。
Saying that reminds me of Fujine, the household's patron saint of overdoing it when it comes to drinking. It's a teacher thing, don't worry, bud. That tiger of ours can down in enough booze to have an actual wild tiger stagger.
本当に信じてる？たとえお酒だとしても、藤村先生みたいな飲み方はしないわよ。我が家の家訓では、飲んでも飲まれるなと。
That sure is a tavern-like saying that Tosakas have. Most likely it was added by the current generation.
安心なさい。何事も余裕を持って優雅たれ。気分悪くして倒れるなんてみっともない真似は死んでもできないわよ。
But turning into a cat's okay. Certainly I can't even imagine Tosaka drunk. I mean, I guess it wasn't. It was a potion. Tosaka has to maintain her perfect honor student image. She probably drinks while being mindful of her limits. Well, it's also likely she'd mistake vodka for something else and topple over.
注意した方がいいのはさくらよ。あの子水気だから。藤村先生なんか比較にならない素質があるはず。将来のね。ライダーも底なしっぽいわね。だって上ばみだから。
トラに上ばみに。我が家はアルコール動物園か。
Wonder about Saber. She doesn't seem like she'd refuse alcohol, plus she wouldn't have been able to play the part of King back in those days without drinking.
そういえば、シロってお酒苦手そうよね。
そんなことはないと思う。酒に鍋とか豚肉のビール鍋とか平気だから。
Yeah, but the alcohol gets mostly boiled out in those.
あんなのアルコールみんな飛んじゃってるじゃない。
Yeah. Obviously, it would be kind of weird if they did. Now I think about it, I don't recall myself having ever really drank.
未成年なんだし、酒に弱かろうが強かろうが関係ないだろ。
Yeah, honestly, for real, and this even extended to me. The best way to not have your kids drink is to have the parents be like, "Oh, come on, have some. You should." And the kids will be like, "No, that's stupid." And then they'll rebel against drinking forever until they're old enough. That's what happened with me.
あくまで将来の話よ。そうね。この辺も鍛えないとダメね。
Oh my god, really?
鍛えるって何をだよ。
お酒、アルコール。ほら、あっちの方はワインやビールなんて水って世間だから。エミヤくんも飲めるようになっておかないと大変よ。
That is true about the beer over in London. Everywhere. Over there, Europe? I've heard about that as well, but that doesn't mean we need to start practicing now.
父さんがやはり酒飲みは似合わない。
何言ってるのよ。シローがカッパと飲んで倒れたら面倒を見るのは私しかいないじゃない。そんなみっともない真似をするのは嫌よ。
Seems that Tosaka watching over me is more likely than the other way around. After all, Tosaka is holding a bottle of strong brandy and actually seems like she can handle it.
だな。そうならないように努力する。
酔う酔わないは努力うんぬんじゃないわよ。半分以上は体質なんだから。
日本人は体質的に下戸が多いってやつか。って待てよ。だったら鍛えることなんかできないんじゃん。
飲んでいれば飲み慣れてくるものよ。
You do get used to it.
それにどれくらいが事故の限度かを知らないのが一番危ないんだから。
She has a point. Someone who's not used to running would injure themselves if they tried to run a long distance at high speed. So it's even the same with alcohol. If you get caught up in the moment, you could be over your limit in no time.
そういうこと。じゃあ今からちょっと付き合いなさい、シロ。
Oh boy.
そういう道理か。いや待て、それジュースだろ。
そう、ジュース。成人前の予行演習。 お相手してくれてもいいじゃない？
Should I take her up on this invitation? This would be my first time drinking with Tosaka. Until now, I never thought something like this could happen.
何遠い目をしてるのよ。
I'm monologuing, okay?
いや、昔はほら、遠坂は完全無欠のお嬢様だと思ってたから酒の話とかこんな風に声かけられるとかつゆほどにも思ってなかったから。
Please, if there's any class that drinks the most, it's the high class. Thinking about it now, it doesn't seem that strange. Suddenly, I find myself reminiscing about days long past. I don't feel any real strong attachment to them, though.
あの頃の純真に戻りたいとか？
でもない。わかった。そういうことなら付き合おう。何か。
こんな時間にカロリー取ってもいいことないわよ。ま、一杯だけだから。
I guess that's fine, eh? I'm a bit concerned about the origin of that bottle in Tosaka's hand.
その瓶、うちのじゃないか。
She was stealing our own brandy?
もちろん。ほら、溜め込まれるより飲まれた方が有効な活用じゃない？
That's fair. We literally have so much alcohol in our house because it doesn't get drank.
いいか。その辺は勝手に補充する係がいるし。
The Fujimura group gives us plenty of those kinds of things, and the Japanese ones are useful for cooking, but the brandies and whiskeys are too strong. Sakura said that flambeing with brandy creates a nice aroma, but she was scared by the size of the flames.
いいでしょ。今度うちに来たらお返しに秘蔵のコレクションからおごる。それ。
何をコレクションしてるんだ。わかった。グラス持ってくる。
これ一つでいいじゃない、別に。
んなこと言ったって遠坂、それだと同じグラスで。
We take turns drinking. One glass between Tosaka and myself, that would be very...
もう少しは雰囲気くらい出しなさいよ。
Taken completely off guard, her words cut through me. Damn it, was I being that dense?
了解。でも次はグラスは2つ用意しろよ。
はいはい。じゃあ私の部屋に行きましょう。
Oh boy. Are we not going to see it? Wow, okay. Huh. Maybe that's an eclipse scene, because that could have things that happen there. At the temple, we got you, but at our house, more importantly, we got Saber in the storehouse. What's up, girl? Okay.
こんなものいつ持ち込んだんだ。
That is a tank. It's been an hour since we started cleaning up the storehouse. This junkyard-like atmosphere makes me a little dizzy, even more than I expected.
シロ、この鉄板はどこに運べばよいのでしょうか？
What the heck? It's a tablet-sized iron griddle that for some reason has been lying dormant deep in the bowels of the storehouse.
見覚えがなさすぎる。いや、とりあえず外に出しておいてくれ。
It's just like my family, we have a shed there, and it, well, for one, we got a new one because the original one you couldn't even walk in; it was just full. Now you can walk in it; it's much nicer. But we were pulling stuff out, and we're like, why do we have this?
わかりました。
For now, the two of us are just throwing the scattered stuff outside, a pile of completely unrelated junk in front of her. Saber accompanies me without a hint of amazement.
しかし、こう改めて見ると。
There's probably enough junk to fill a light truck here. And this is just the stuff from the first floor. How much is packed in there altogether? I'm afraid to even guess.
シロ、この鉄板は何に使うのでしょうか？
さっきのやつか。ってたい焼き用の鉄板じゃんか。なんでこんなものがあるんだ？
Furthermore, this isn't even meant for domestic use. It's one with a big hinge. Not unlike the type you may see on a food cart. Yo, make a food cart, my man. Besides that, we also have what looks like a plate for making takoyaki, a cotton candy machine, and a Christmas tree-like something with skates.
土蔵の中でお祭りができるな。
これはすべてシロが持ち込んだものなのですか？
半分はそうだけど、あとの半分は俺も初めて見た。まあ、ガラクタであることはどっちも同じなんだけど。
Although the things I put away are the stuff that you could use once fixed type. It's never been the stuff that was brought from God knows where type.
シロの預かり知るところではないと。では、この法則性がないようで
強力な共通点がある品物はどこから？
I'm gonna take a bet. It's Fujine. There's only one name I can reply with. Even Saber should have realized it by now. But pretending to be stumped myself, I keep silent. Oh, there we go.
懐かしいわ
Yep,
ね。
yep.
どうしたのシロをこんな風に広げて。お祭りの準備でもしてるのかしら？
So, the culprit chose a good time to make an appearance. Like a criminal returning to the scene of a crime.
準備じゃなくて片付けをしてたんだ。どこかの誰かが持ってきたガラクタをどうにかしようと思ってさ。
ガラクタとは失礼ね。シロのために持ってきたものがほとんどなのに。
ということは、ここにあるものはシロが欲しがったものなのですか？
そうよ。そこの鉄板なんてショーウィンドウにべったり張り付いて何時間も見つめてたんだから。
No, what? No. No. The food, not the actual griddle.
それをいつまでも覚えていたお姉ちゃんはたまたま家で見つけたってこともあり、何年か越しにシロにプレゼントしてあげたのでした。
なんと素晴らしい。タイガは弟思いの見本ですね。
でしょなのにシロったらろくに使いもしないで、なんでか土蔵に放り込んで忘れちゃうのよね。
待て藤根、あとセイバー、今の話どっかおかしいと思わないのか？
なによ、いい話じゃないのよ。
そりゃ一度は欲しがったけど何年前の話だよ。子供の頃に屋台に張り付いてただけで、今欲しいって言ったら新しいフライパンぐらいだ。それにだな、例えば
I point at the taiyaki griddle.
あんな鉄板あったところでどうやって使えって言うんだ？
Yeah, it's just a metal plate. Like, there's not much you can actually do with it on its own. The most important parts are usually what's under it.
何言ってるのシロ。たい焼きを焼く鉄板なんだから、たい焼きを作ればいいだけの話でしょ。
It doesn't work like that.
なんとこれがあれば家でたい焼きが作れるのですか？
Sorry, Saber. Terribly sorry to crush your dreams and expectations, but being oriented for commercial use, it's not much help in a regular home.
ダメなんだセイバー。その鉄板じゃたい焼きは作れない。というか藤根、どうやってこれで焼く気なんだ？
どうってシロはたい焼きの作り方も知らないの？
違う、火力が足りないんだよ。こんな畳の半分くらいの大きさの鉄板にどうやって火を通せってんだ、バカトラ。
そんなこと言ったってシロが欲しいって言うから。
言ってないし。なんでそういうことだけいつまでも覚えてるんだ藤根は。まあ気持ちは嬉しいけど、こんなのどこから持ってきたんだよ。
She said it came from her house.
うちにお祭りの後に置いてあったのよ。
Who's they? Must have been used at a food cart during the festival, then left with the family. Some young guy in the Fujimura group will probably get scolded by old man Raiga for not looking after the inventory. Unfortunately, I bet the rest followed a similar sequence of events. And I'll get them to take it all back when the opportunity arises.
シロ、
Having found something in the mountain of junk, Saber suddenly stops.
セイバー、何か見つけたか？
Maybe some dangerous magic-related item got mixed in there? I rush over to her side.
これは一体何なのでしょうか？
It's a shaved ice maker! Yo, Japan loves their penguin shaved ice makers. It's adorable! In her hand, she holds a shaved ice machine. This time, it's not commercial, meant for festival use type, but a regular penguin-shaped one. There's a Digimon that is literally a penguin with, like, it makes the shaved ice, but it's a giant penguin. Deeply impressed by something, she keeps looking at it in the eyes, motionless.
それはかき氷を作る道具だよ。
かき氷。こんなに愛らしいのに氷菓子を作ることができるのです
She
か？
loves it. The fact that this cute little thing could actually be used for something seems to be a shock for her. The hands holding the penguin start trembling.
よし、片付けが終わったら作ってみようか。
We've worked up quite a sweat. After a day of hard work, a reward like that would really hit the spot. I mean, you need the flavoring though, because otherwise it's just kind of... Sadly, we don't have any syrup, yeah. Instead, I'll whip up something with matcha powder and sugar and cool it in the fridge. Ooh. Ooh, shaved matcha, my man. Smart. Regarding the festival food cart drama, once we finished the cleaning, I gave the Fujimura group a call.
Yeah, ここにありやしたか。
Family members that showed up after a few words of exasperation ended up retrieving Fujine as well.
おじいちゃんになしつけてすぐ戻るからね。私の分も取っておくのよ。けどあんまりにも遅かったら気を利かせて助けに来てくれると嬉しいな。
There's a whole side to her world that we don't see. Like that. Sounds like she's not coming back for a while.
シロ、これはどのように使うのでしょう。
There's no hiding the fact that the sparkling clean shaved ice machine on top of the table is now the subject of Saber's undivided attention.
ちょっと待って。
She loves it. I put a plate inside its belly. As I open its head and load the ice, I notice Saber cringing slightly.
そこが開くのは、その、愛らしくない。
そうだな。こういうところだけ機能的すぎるよな。
Can I just say, when I was in Japan, I went to a rotating sushi restaurant and like a conveyor belt one. And one of the items that I got for dessert there was a shaved ice with the syrup. And it was shaved so fine. It was like eating a cloud. It was so good. It was amazing. With a bitter smile, I take the handle mounted on top of the head and spin it a few times. As I do, little pieces of cut ice start to accumulate on the plate on its belly. No matter how hard Saber's trying to feign disinterest, she looks about to burst with curiosity.
シロ、この機械に別の形はないのですか？その獅子や豹のような。
Crap. Despite having seen Saber like this many times before, the sheer imbalance still makes the corners of my mouth jerk up involuntarily. I mean, that's what I'm like too.
なぜ顔を背けるので
I'm
すか？
smiling so hard.
それに手を止めると氷が溶けてしまう。早く削ってしまうべきです。
と、すまん。そうだな。俺は知らないけど、もしかしたらライオン型のもあるかもな。
You're more likely to find a donut making machine in the shape of a lion. Look up Mr. Donut from Japan.
それは本当でしょうか？
いや、見たことはないけど、あってもおかしくないなって話。
I keep working the handle. As soon as there is about a cupful, I take out the plate, put some matcha syrup on top, and hand it over to Saber. Delighted, she takes a spoon, then suddenly stops looking at me.
シロは食べないのですか？
俺はこれで十分。
I show her my cup of tea that I've been brewing at the same time.
そうですか。では遠慮なくいただきます。
Scooping up a bit with the spoon, she brings it to her mouth. She looks quite calm on the outside, but I bet she was really looking forward to it. Having eaten a mouthful, she nods approvingly, looks at the penguin, then me, and keeps going.
セイバー、昔はこういうのなかったのか？
My dude, they didn't have ice back in the day. What? Really?
そうですね。確かに
Oh,
嗜好品として存在しているのは知っていました。
yeah, like there were sweets, but there was no
で
ice.
すが、今のように氷室が発達しているわけではありませんでし
That's
たの
not a
で。
thing. That was a luxury reserved for a select few, she concludes, returning to her shaved ice.
ああ、セイバー、確かにかき氷は溶けやすいけど、
Oh, no.
そんなに慌てて食べると。
Looks like my warning came a little late. She's already stopped, her face turning a different color.
頭が痛くなるから注意しろって。遅かったな。
Oh man. So when people say like a brain freeze, when I get a brain freeze, it's not a brain freeze for me. It's like a throat freeze, where it just feels like my throat like seizes up. She nods. As her eyes start to tear up a bit, I pass her my teacup. She takes what I thought was fairly hot tea down in one gulp.
何ですか、シロ。私が氷で頭を痛める様子が。
ね。いや、おかしいというよりは、ほら、なんだ。まあいいから、そんなこと言ってると溶けるぞ。
そうですか。
I'm convinced the ice is still on her mind, and she soon goes back to enjoying
シ
it.
ントに行けば見つかるかな。
シロ、どうしたのです？考え事ですか？やはりシロもかき氷を食べたくなったのですね。
ああ。けど、 それはまた今度な。次はちゃんとシロップを買ってきて、なんとか。
She tilts her head in confusion. There'll be a next time, somehow. Get a job at a storehouse in Shinto or something and find that lion-shaped ice machine, no matter how rare it may be. Until then, I'll postpone eating shaved ice with Saber. Aw, he wants to get the lion one. That's so cute. We got one in Raidu's room. We got Tosaka's room. Last time, let's hang with Tosaka one more time, I guess.
よし、こんなところか。
I've been muttering the same thing the whole time I was brewing tea in the kitchen. I hate to admit it, but I've yet to make tea that has satisfied her.
今日はあいつもやる気だからな。
I heard it's something about clothing. Since she was on her trip, she didn't get a chance to replace her plain clothes, and now we're in the midst of an uproar that left her closet looking like a tornado had ripped through it. Nothing at all like a man such as myself, who's perfectly content to just exchange the top and bottom drawers in the wardrobe and call it a day.
あれだけは俺も付き合うわけにはいかないからな。
If I insist on helping, I'll only be greeted by an overcast of gander shots. And so, staying downstairs, attempting to stare down one of her textbooks, awaiting further instructions. Now that she has just called me up, I've started brewing some tea to bring with me.
遠坂、入るぞ。
いいわよ。疲れちゃった。はい、ご苦労様でした。やっぱり労働の後の一服はありがたいわよね。
Tosaka accepts the cup and presses her lips to the rim. Looks like she simply couldn't wait for her red tea any longer. Before I'm awarded a score on the tea, I notice the clothes on Tosaka's bed. It's rather unfamiliar and foreign looking. A black dress with matching white apron. Just like...
メイドの服みたいだ。
Oh my.
みたいだじゃなくて、ズバリ使用人のお色紙よ。
Why do you have that?
なんで私のところに入ってたんだか。
Huh? Tosaka looks over the dress as she sips her tea. Servants, that's right. She does live alone now, but...
いたのか？遠坂の家にメイドって。
お父様の頃はね。私が中学に入る頃までずっと勤めた家政婦さんも実家に帰っちゃって。この色紙もその時に処分したと思ったんだけど、ひょっこり出てきたの。せっかく見つけたけど、どうしようかと思ってね。
I mean, the answer is wear it.
どうしようかって。
Yep.
着るのか？
What else is there to do with clothes?
エミヤくんってそういう好みなんだ。
なんでそんな話になるんだよ。服なら着るしかないだろ。飾っておいてどうするんだ。
どうだか。イリアスフィールのメイドたちに違和感たっぷりの目を向けてたの。あれはホムンクルスだったからじゃなくて、あのメイド服が気に入らなかったからじゃないの？
To be fair, their maid outfits are kind of whack. That's a pretty evil grin she has. I'm only impressed by how complete it is, down to perfectly white clothing and a maid's headpiece.
なら、お前が着るのかよ、遠坂。
Okay, all this stuttering makes it seem like he might actually be.
冗談でしょう。遠坂の当主である私がどうして使用人の服を着なきゃいけないってのよ。
I've made her angry. Seems like her stubborn pride is what's stopping her. My personal opinion is that as long as it fits, nothing else matters.
でも、そうね。服は着せてこそ花だし。どうせならセイバーに着せてみたいかな。なんとなく。
セイバーにか？それもまた。
I mean, she is a servant, heyo. Are we gonna... Oh, there's the picture! Can't really say it would match her or not.
どこを見ているのです、お坊ちゃま。
No, she'd get pissed way more than Tosaka. What are Shiro and Rin making me wear? She'd yell. However, that's...
サーバントだからメイドサーバント。
ちょっとベタだから言わないようにしてたけど、予想通り言ってくれて安心したわ。
Just as she expected, she's sitting there clutching her knees, but I forge ahead and boldly voice my opinion on the other suitable candidate for the maid uniform.
遠坂が着ないのならさくらとか。
Are we gonna get pictures? Oh, that's adorable!
おかえりなさいませ、ご主人様。
He said, "Welcome back, master." What's with that exasperated look? Just as I expect her to give me the "you dare make my sister wear that? What in the world are you thinking, you moron of a senpai with no sense of integrity" spiel.
あの子だったら喜んできそうね。
Yep.
それで、白旦那様とか。 危ないわね。
Oh no,
これはさくらに見せちゃい
Goshujin-sama
けない
is
わ。
husband, I forgot. The good-for-nothing big sister mumbled to herself in a low voice.
旦那様ってなんだそれ。さくらがそんなことするわけないだろ。
ああ、聞こえちゃった？
Yeah, you spoke out loud. You spoke out loud.
いいけど。じゃあ次、さくらがダメならライダーだ。気性といい外見といい、すごく似合う気がする。
Let's see.
申し分なさすぎて怖い
I
よ
want
ね。
to see, I want to see, I want to see, I want to see, I want to see, even though I've already seen this technically. 10 out of 10. Steadfast and selfless. Ryder is an ideal match as her master Sakura's personal servant. 10 out of 10.
旦那様、お仕事の時間です。
Seeing as Ryder isn't into fashion, she wouldn't think anything when she sees the maid dress. She'd very likely just put it on.
でもライダーもああ見えて火遊び好きでシチュエーション的に
That she does. That she does, as evidence of last part.
さっきから
Which
お
got
前
me
のつぶやきが
demonetized.
全く理解できないんだが。それはともかく、あと似合うと言ったら。
Oh. Wow. Just no, we're not doing it. Tosaka suddenly bursts with laughter. Looks like we both have the same person in mind, but her reaction is the complete opposite of mine.
傑作よそれ。藤村先生は大喜びかもね。きっとそのまま学校に出てくるわ。それでなぜ先生がメイド服なのかエミヤくんが一生懸命説明するのよ。
She seems to be looking forward to it. Even so, I was just thinking the same
一
thing.
瞬でもいいと思った俺がバカだった。これは藤姉には絶対禁止だ。
ええ、私も学校でそんな藤村先生に会ったら困るわ。腹筋疲れるし。けどこれでいろいろ遊べそうなことは確かね。
Tosaka picks up the maid outfit on her bed. Should probably just put it away for now. I can't really get out of my mind now that I've seen it. Mm-hmm.
なんだよ、遠坂。
やっぱり私が着てるのを見たい？
Oh, that's cute.
ごきげんよう、ご主人様。
It's not that I don't want to see it. It's just that I don't want to demand it too loud. My boy Totes has a thing for maids. On top of that, even if my wish comes true, there's no telling how much I'd have to compensate for it.
でも、まあ、それでも見たいかな。
えらいえらい。正直者のエミヤくんにはいつかご褒美をあげましょうっと。
The closet shuts with a clank, and the maid dress disappears in the darkness just like that. Ah, goodbye, another miracle yet to be realized.
さあ、これでおしまいっと。
チェ、ご苦労様でしただ。と、そうだ。下で読んでたテキストでわからないところがあったんだ。
あら、そう。時間もあるから教えてあげるわよ。こっちに持ってきなさい。
サンキュー、遠坂。じゃあ、いつもの指導、よろしくお願いします。
Alright. And it's night. Is this the last day? I guess so. There's one more thing with Rin. Let's do it. Let's crank it out. I didn't mean it like that. Ask her for advice. Let's talk to her about the real stuff. I'll go talk about the current situation. Seeing as Tosaka came back right after hearing about the abnormality, I should ask her her take on things.
ええ、街がどうなっているかはざっと見て回ってきたわ。で、エミヤくんは何を知ってるの？
As if she was well prepared in advance, Tosaka cuts right to the chase. Well, that sure makes it easier for me. I do have one question first.
なあ、遠坂。アーチャーのやつはどうしてるんだ？遠坂が帰ってきたんだから、近くに待機してるのか？
アーチャーとは絶縁中よ。そもそもあいつと私、もうマスターとサーバントの関係じゃないもの。
どういうことだ、それ。契約切ったのか？
切ったというより切れたの。聖杯戦争が終わった時、契約は一度破棄されるのよ。サーバント側の意思でね。ライダーやセイバーは別に今のままでよかったんでしょうけど、 あいつは何か思うところがあったんでしょ。
Well, that's interesting. That changes a couple things that I thought.
前みたいに四六時中協力体制ってわけじゃなくて、必要な時にギブアンドテイクで手を貸してもらう状態なの。
Huh.
あいつが限界するための触媒にはなってあげてるけど、魔力提供はカットしてるわ。
Oh! She herself was the catalyst for summoning him, right?
ってこんなのずっと前から知ってるじゃない。何よ今になって聞き返すなんて。
That's right. That's the way things are with Tosaka and Archer right now. While he isn't staying nearby, he'll help her when she needs it, under certain conditions. I don't know what Archer was thinking when he chose to establish this kind of relationship, but I guess it wouldn't have worked out any other way. Continuing as Tosaka's servant is likely to produce some sort of definite contradiction.
エミヤくんどうしたの？なんか怖い顔して。アーチャーが苦手なのはわかるけど、話をするだけでも嫌だったっけ？
いや、ただの立ちくらみだ。余計な話をさせて
His
悪
brain
かった。
tried to combine
本題に入ろう。
timelines and it hurt him.
遠坂、街を回ってみてどうだった？違和感とか何かおかしなところとかあったか？
それがはっきりしないっていうか、確かにおかしいとは思うんだけど、別におかしくはないのよね。我ながら抽象的な例えで申し訳ないんだけど、おかしいって感じてる時点で何がおかしいのか気づかない仕組みになってるっていうか。
The moment you become aware of the abnormality, it changes into something normal, is that it? In other words, what looks to be normal really isn't. So then, if I were to assume that abnormal events that never took place in the original Fuyuki were the norm...
何か知ってそうね、エミヤくん。私がいない間に何があったの？
何もなかった。何もなかったけど。
Where did I acquire all this extra knowledge?
少し聞いてほしいことがある。俺自身どうしてこんなことを口にするかわからないんだが。
After collecting myself as much as I can, I start explaining. The fight with Archer that hasn't happened yet. Saber's defeat at the hands of a master I've never seen. The story of Fuyuki City drawing to a close with the end of each fourth day. Oh wow, we're actually talking about it. That's amazing.
確認するけど、エミヤくんはその出来事を知っているだけなのね。実際に見たわけでもなくて、その4日目を体験してもいない。
ああ、ただ知ってるだけだ。夢で見たとか、どこかで聞いたとかいうのもない。
Okay, this is good. This is good. So he knows and he's talking to people about it.
けれど知っている。この街で起きることならなんとなく把握できる。けど今のエミヤくんはまだ知らないから思い出せない。
So like he can kind of remember them but doesn't?
その時
Okay.
点でやり直してるってわけじゃないわよね。そんな状態なのはエミヤくんだけで、私やさくらは普通なんだから、冬騎士ぐるみっていうのもなし。今の4日間だけ冬騎士がそういう状態で、エミヤくんだけ隣が見えてる。
All I told her was the end of the 4 days that I somehow knew about. The story of Emyashiro, who cannot move beyond the 4 days. As if realizing something from just that, Tosaka's muttering to herself.
そっか、再会してるんじゃない。再現してるんだ。それならサーバントが全員揃っているのも説明がつく。そうなると、みんな嘘なんじゃなくて、嘘つきは一人だけになるのか。
Tosaka's stare is becoming sharper. Whatever she's thinking about, it can't be good.
遠坂、何か分かったのか？
そうね。今のエミヤくんの話を一応ほど譲って、仮にそういう話があると想定した上でなら、
Oh,
それなりに仕組みは分かったわ。
tell me. It's very reliable. The fact that she wouldn't believe it does hurt me a little, though.
いい？今から話すことはあくまでエミヤくんのヨタ話を考察しただけの話だから、街の異常には全くこれっぽっちも頭くるほどに関係ないって理解した上で聞いてちょうだい。
Huh?
分
Okay.
かった。机上の空論ってことだな。
それ以前エミヤくんの言うデタラメな状況に説明をつけるとしたらっていう辻褄合わせよ。まあいいわ。メガネっと。
Oh, 10 out of 10. I want to see Tosaka Sensei retrieves a pair of glasses from her bag. It's been a while since I've seen her go into all-knowing Tosaka mode. Yes! So cute!
エミヤくんの話からすると、この4日間、10月8日から11日までの間が異常なのは明らかです。セイバーやライダーは聖杯戦争が再開されたと言っているけど、それだと不都合が生じてしまう。わかるでしょ？戦いが再開されたのなら誰かが欠けていなきゃいけないはずよ。
That's right. If this were really a restart, then the participants who dropped out half a year ago shouldn't be here now.
おかしいのにおかしくないのはそこ。きっとこの状態、この4日間だけは本来いてはいけない人物がいたとしても、それが誰なのか特定できない状況にあるんだと思う。だから全員が揃っていても何一つおかしくない。
So they're like, we recognize something is wrong, but we don't know what it is.
いいえ、全員が揃っていないとおかしいの。だってこれは誰かが以前起きた聖杯戦争を再現している結果なんだから。
誰かが聖杯戦争を再現してるって。いや、それは初めから分かってたっていうか、聖杯を欲しがってるやつがまた聖杯戦争を始めようとしたんだろう。
それは再開。私が言っているのは再現。いい？仮に再開したいのなら、すでに欠けているサーバントなんていない方がいいでしょ。なのに町には全てのサーバントが揃っている。だからなんで私もこんな結論に飛んだのか頭くるんだけど、そいつは聖杯戦争を再現したいだけなの。戦いたいだけなの。永遠に続けたいだけなの。そのためにこの4日間だけは起こりうる全ての可能性を内包しているのよ。何度やっても楽しめるように、
Wow, this is very
できる
important.
限り新鮮味を失わないようにってね。
This is like actually like this is why Slice of Life is happening forever. Ah, is that why? Come, let's continue the Holy Grail War. Those words were spoken?
けど待ってくれ。それじゃあ4日過ぎれば町は元通りになるってことだよな。なんで俺は先のことを知っているんだ。これじゃあ俺だけ1日目に戻ってるみたいじゃないか。
戻っているならちゃんと確かな記憶として覚えてるでしょ。エミヤくんはね、きっと自分を見ちゃってるのよ。図にするとこんな感じかな。
Oh
平行世界っ
man.
てわけじゃないからね。この4日間ではあらゆる可能性は10日だから、エミヤくんはこういう風になってるの。エミヤシローっていう奏者が合わせ鏡みたいに無限にいると仮定して、全く同じコースをそれぞれ違ったタイムで走ってるってわかる？
Ah.
あっちでテレビゲームをやったんだけど、あれと同じよ。
What? You did? That's wild.
シューティングゲームっていうの？時期が3期いて、やられたら初めからやり直すやつ。
Okay.
あれって時期視点から見ると連続してないけど、プレイヤー視点から見れば連続しているじゃない。
Okay.
それと同じよ。時期がいる限り死んでも初めからやり直せる。全く同じ性能の全く新しい時期が全く同じ命を攻略するでしょ。
I want you to say what, but I'm not a video game character.
今のエミヤくんはまさにそれってわけ。
Tosaka's metaphor is awfully impolite, but I get what she's trying to say. I guess by the seeing ones beside me thing that she was muttering, she actually meant that player B that went ahead of me. It's the conclusion of a different playthrough that I know about. I haven't experienced it myself yet, but I can go, oh, player A got beaten by a boss here. I guess that's how you could put it. So it's like us. It's literally us.
いろいろ納得いかないんだが、辻褄合わせだから納得するとして、じゃあ俺 このままおとなしくしてれば4日目を超えられるってことか。
You'll eventually get the knowledge of all of
超え
them.
られなかったエミやシローはいないと思うけど、たとえ死体であっても5日目は来るんだから。私もさくらもエミヤくんみたいな夢は見てないから、街そのものが繰り返していないのは明白よ。でももしかしてエミヤくんだけ特別で、この聖杯戦争をどうにかしないと絶対に4日目で死んじゃうのかもね。
Heavens feel redux. This might be what you call an ill omen. My situation went from bad to downright scary.
俺が変なことを知ってる理屈は分かったよ。けどさ、どうやって聖杯戦争の再現なんて起こしてるんだ？聖杯を欲しがっている何者かってやつはそんな魔法みたいなことができるのか？そもそもこんなことができるなら聖杯なんかに頼らず望みを叶えられるだろうに。
もう言ったでしょ、そいつの目的はもう叶ってるんだって。そいつは聖杯が欲しくて聖杯戦争を再現しているんじゃない。殺し合いがしたいから聖杯戦争を再現している。それはつまり。
あ、
I see, it's the other way around.
それが願いなんだ。そいつはすでに聖杯を手に入れていて、聖杯戦争を再現するっていう願いを叶えたとしたら。
そういうこと。これが誰かの望みだとしたら、聖杯の持ち主を倒さないと解除できないんでしょうね。ま、怪しい奴がいるとすれば、それは前回の聖杯戦争にいなかった人物よ。
Interesting. Her, yeah, that's someone. That's a pretty simple. We've only seen her like once. That's a pretty simple conclusion. Anyone that has recently popped up on the scene is under suspicion.
私は帰ってくるまでいなかったけど、元からこの町にいてもいい人間だから除外して。半年前にいなかった奴がいたら、そいつがこの騒ぎの元凶よ。
Well.
なあ、父さか。俺、その怪しいやつって知ってるっぽいんだけど、出会った時はいつも死んでるみたいなんだ。なんか解決策ないかな？
常識外れの質問もそろそろ疲れてきたわ。
I think this is very related.
出会っても殺されるってことは、その出会い方自体が間違ってるんじゃない？いい？一番正しい出会い。一番最初に出会った場面を知っているなら、自分の手でその状況を再現なさい。エミヤ君にはそれができるんだから。
What a fake, she keeps mumbling. Guess she doesn't believe any of it at all. Well, what do you know? There was actually another place I could meet that girl at. This time, if I remember right. Yeah. Tosaka and the track and field and archery clubs are at the Rito Temple.
参考になった。とりあえず当面の目的がはっきりしたよ。
お役に立てて光栄よ。で、どうするの、エミヤ君？その聖杯の持ち主を探してみる？
まあ、できる範囲で。とりあえず害はないんだし、4日目を過ぎたら元に戻るんだろ？無理しないで適当にやれよ。
Sorry to bother you. I get up from my seat. This has become a much longer conversation than I expected.
まったく。私たちはそんな夢とか見てないから断言できないんだけど、今のは一応あなたの話を真剣に考えてあげた場合の答えよ。本音を言えば、そんな寝ぼけた妄想を浮かべる暇があるならプールにでも誘えって感じだけど、あんまり都合よく使ってるとこっちにも考えがあるわよ。
Hehehe, she proceeds to give me a frightening bit of info with an equally frightening smile. The pool, huh? Okay. Or pay this favor in a non-material way soon enough, so please wait for it. Just don't expect too much.
世話になった。また明日な、父さか。
I leave the guest room behind. She does not answer right away. Instead, she sighs secretly and...
ねえ。みんな揃ってるのっていいわね。
Her faint smile is a mere image of my own mood, too. Huh. And it's the final night, so guess what? We die. Well, before we go, there's some new Emmas? There are 3. Yay, they're cute!
原画担当コメント。 リンのメイド服左はなんちゃって正統派というコンセプト。セイバーはメイド喫茶風右。
I can see that.
はははこやつめ、まあ可愛いから許しましょ
まだった。昔はこの手のメイド服は受け付けられなかったけど、今は結構 OK。
Huh.
う。嘘だ。
嘘だな。
I'm guessing the other one is gonna be more maids. Yep. Cute.
さくらのメイド服はウェイトレス風左。ライダーは月姫のメイドさんの格好右。
Oh.
以上、原画担当より。
Well, that's a reference. I didn't even notice that.
ライダーのスーパーサラブレッドテールも素敵だけど、さくらもよく似合ってるわね。
ほう。
何その期待顔は。オチはありません。タイミングよく褒めてあげればちゃんと木に登ってくれる子なんですから。
君の弟子とやらの行く末が心配だ。
And no talk about Tsukihime. Okay, that's this one. Oh, just this again? Oh, just all of them?
マスターアップが近づくと憔悴しきるか妙にハイになるかどちらかだけど、
まるで戦場のようですね。
これを作画していた時の原画担当ははあはあギラギラと肩で息をしつつも一時も手を休めないという危機迫る状態だったわね。
もはや宿罪とも言うべきメイド志向の業を再確認したわけですね。
It is what it is.
そうね。このエマモードも実はもっぱらメイドの生足を鑑賞するために付加されたくらいだし。で、セイバーのことを言ってるんだけど。
なんであれ、衣装が増えるのは喜ばしいことではないですか。
おお、おみ足解くとご老じろと。聖母にでもなったつもりか。
Alright, that was fun. Thank you guys for watching. I'm excited to see where this goes, because both for the slice of life and the actual plot, because it's like, oh, things are starting to heat up. I will see you next time for some more Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Ciao.